Pastors Chooks and Toyin Ogoye. Pastors Chooks and Toyin Ogoye are the lead pastors of Resurrection Life Church, Johannesburg, South Africa. They are passionate about building families and raising men and women who transform and uplift the standard of life in their communities through understanding and applying biblical principles. Pastor Chooks and Pastor Toyin frequently host workshops, seminars, and conferences for transformation. Some of their programs include Kingdom Financiers Conferences, Dream Achievers Conferences, Marriage Enrichment Courses and Seminars, For Wives Only Seminars, Single Ladies Boot Camps, and Limitless Men Seminars. They are the founders of the Power of Women Academy, a group mentorship for high-impact women, and host the annual Power of Women conferences and amazing Power of Women broadcasts. For more information, please visit www.idelight.co.za and www.reslife.org.za or WhatsApp +27 814 210 835.
Good evening. Welcome to Thank God It's Friday. It's another beautiful Friday evening. I am Dr. Chooks Ogoye. On Thank God It's Friday, we share on relationship wisdom. This is the time we come to learn about the wisdom required to build solid relationships, whether they are romantic relationships, marriage relationships, interpersonal work relationships, sibling relationships, all kinds of relationships. Friday is the time we learn the wisdom to build relationships. And I'm glad to bring another episode of Thank God It's Friday tonight. All right, we are on the series, Wisdom for Single Ladies. We've been on this series for a while, Wisdom for Single Ladies. And tonight, we are going to engage in a contemplation titled Signs of an Insecure Man. Signs of an Insecure Man. The last time I did Signs of an Immature Man. Now we are doing Signs of an Insecure Man, and tonight will be part 1. So the title is Signs of an Insecure Man, part 1. Signs of an Insecure Man, part 1. All right, let's begin. Who is an insecure person? Let's start with that. Who is an insecure person? Okay, an insecure person is someone who is uncertain about themselves, who is not so sure about themselves. They are not sure about their abilities. They are not so sure about their competence. They are not sure about, themselves. There's a lot of self-doubt, and this self-doubt, affect how they see themselves and how they think other people see them. So an insecure person has a tendency to react abruptly or explode about something which is inconsequential. But because they think erroneously in their head that you see them in a certain way, they want to act to counter you, and then they overreact. They overreact. A statement that a secure person will not find threatening, an insecure person will find it extremely threatening, and then they will react in a way that is explosive, in a way that is out of proportion. This is, the problems of insecurity. So it affects the way they see themselves and the way they think people see them. So an insecure person is always worrying, what are people going to be thinking about me? They know that's one of the signs. Anyway, let me not jump ahead of myself. They are worried about what people say because they are not sure of themselves. So what people say is worrying them. And this problem of insecurity, it comes from identity. They don't know who they are. So an insecure man does not know who he is, does not know what he stands for, does not know what he's good at. He's unsure about himself. An insecure person has poor self-image and lacks confidence, in themselves, in their abilities. As a result, they act in certain ways. They overreact to make up for perceived inadequacies. Okay, so an insecure person has a low self-esteem. They have negative self-image. And their negative self-image makes them act in certain ways, and also makes them become a problem to people around them because they overreact to some things. They're even often aggressive. They are often manipulative. Anyway, we're coming to all of that. So I want to give you some telltale signs. I'll give you 7 today. I'll give you 7 today, and I will, give you another 7 next week. All right. Now, but before I give you the telltale signs of an insecure man, why is it important to know an insecure man, to spot an insecure man from afar? Why is it important? Listen, let me tell you why it's important that you know an insecure man from afar. All right. Let me read the scripture for you. In Proverbs chapter 27, verse 12. Proverbs 27, verse 12. It says, a prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. The simple pass on and are punished. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. So he sees danger and then avoids it. He sees danger and avoids it. An insecure man is dangerous. So dear single lady, you need to be this person that we read about in verse 12 of Proverbs 27. That is wise, that is sharp to see danger and then avoid it. But a lot of women are not wise enough to spot insecurity in a man. Or sometimes they see it, but because somebody has finally said hello, somebody is finally smiling at them, they get carried away by the novelty of newfound attention. And they ignore telltale signs, and then they pay dearly for it later. Listen, what we're talking about now is the fundamental reason why there is a rise in gender-based violence. Insecure men are behind gender-based violence. Let me say it again. Maybe 90% or 95% of gender-based violence against women and children are perpetrated by insecure men. They're perpetrated by insecure men. You see, we are living in a time where there's so much being done for women. Women are being empowered. Women are encouraged to go into business. Women are doing a lot of things for themselves. Women are standing up for themselves. Women are getting good jobs. Women are advancing. Now, what that has done is that it's brought out the inadequacy, the incompetence, the lack of success of the men. So he's brought it out to the fore. So now you have women who are climbing corporate ladder, starting their own businesses, earning their own monies, doing so well, and then they are having to be dated by men who are not doing so well. So what happens? The men are covered in insecurity. They are covered in insecurity. They are not earning well. The woman is earning twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, sometimes 10 times more than the man. So now a man who is supposed to be the head of the relationship and direct the movement and the flow of the relationship, he is now embroiled in insecurity. So sometimes in order to assert himself, to say I am the head here, to say I am the man here, he has to resort to violence, which is not necessary. But his insecurity makes him resort to violence because he feels small. And the only way to make him feel bigger is to assert his brute force, brute strength. And he starts beating the woman. He starts manhandling her because there's no other thing he has to show leadership, to show headship in the relationship or in the marriage. Now he has to, bring out brute strength. Now the challenge with that is that biologically speaking or physiologically speaking, men are stronger than women. So a man who is insecure may still be big, may still be muscular, may still be, very pumped up. But internally, he is small. Externally, he is big. And because internally he is small, he is not able to assert internal strength and confidence. He now resorts to external brute force. So he stands and starts beating the woman and starts, doing all kinds of negative, violent things to the woman. So gender-based violence in this country is at an all-time high because we have a lot of insecure men. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. The brothers must go for rehabilitation. The brothers must go for help. Government must look for ways to empower men and show men how to be a man. Yes, yes. And I hear the Spirit of God saying, yes, we need to also look into it. So it's fine. But I said it. Gender-based violence, at the root of it is insecurity in brothers, insecurity in men. And insecurity in men is coming from so many things. It's not my subject today, but it's coming from so many things. One of them being identity issues. Men do not know who they are. Men do not know what they can do. What men do not know their role in God and who they are in God, the identity in God. So they are left with battered self-esteem, battered self-concept, and now they resort to violence to assert themselves in relationships. So I'm talking to single ladies tonight. If you are, however, a lady who is in a relationship with an insecure man, it's good to hear what I'm saying today, but we need to do another episode for you to teach you how to help him. Because if you're already married to the man, what are you going to do? You're not going to, divorce him, except he is so violent. He's so violent against you. In fact, I'm not even going to, let's scratch that. One sign of violence, physical violence against you, you are out. I'm not even waiting for it to become gross. One sign of physical violence against you, please get out. Get out. I'm not saying divorce him. I'm not saying, but get out and let him seek help. Let him seek therapy. It's possible to be healed. It's possible to be sorted out from because remember what is causing the insecurity is low self-esteem and other things and other factors. So those things can be sorted out and then the insecurity can go and the man can be healed. But don't stay in a relationship where they're beating you up. Don't stay. Whether you're married or you're going out or once a man shows sign of physical aggression against you, you are unsafe. You are unsafe. And if he does it now and gets away with it, he's going to continue doing it. And can I tell you something? If he can do it now that you are dating him, if you marry him, this thing will go times 10. Oh yes, that negative behavior, that violent posture towards you will go times 10. So imagine if you are enduring it now. If you marry him, it will be times 10. So this is why it's important that you see the signs so that you can take evasive action. You can avoid such a relationship. Don't even start it. If you are in the early stages of the relationship, back out, leave, break it up. Break it up. He said, but Pastor, there are so few men out there, you believe they lie. You believe they lie. There are good men out there. Is that lie that you believe that is making you attract poor quality men? It's true. Is that lie you believe that is making you attract those kind of men? You need to attend the single ladies boot camp. Oh yes, you need to come through for the single ladies boot camp so we can teach you and we can help you reconfigure your thinking, reconfigure the way you are seeing things so that you can attract the good men that are out there that are looking for beautiful sisters like yourself. So don't keep believing the lie that good men are finished. They are not finished. There are plenty. There are so plenty out there. And if once we can help you sort out your head, you will attract a good man. So don't settle for an insecure man because the marriage will not last. Please hear what I'm about to say. Hear what I'm about to say. I've been doing the single ladies boot camp. My wife and I have been at it from the first quarter of 2010. First quarter of 2010. This is 2023. That's 13 years we have been ministering to single ladies. We have taught single ladies the principles that help, to attract a man or to be found, to get into a relationship. But I've seen a few cases of some of the ladies who had come through SLBC, in over the years, who ended up with insecure men. I am sad to announce to you that these marriages did not last. Those marriages did not last. We have seen it. We have seen it. They followed the principles we taught. They used those principles to get a man. But they got a man who is insecure because they didn't know how to fish out the insecure people and refuse to go into a relationship with them. So maybe also the women themselves were insecure because like attracts like. You see, an insecure girl will attract an insecure man, and then the marriage will not work. So, I say to all the ladies, it's one thing for you to learn what you need to do to position yourself to be found. It's another thing to know what to do to make the marriage work, to make the relationship work. So I want you to stay with me. I am going to give you 7 signs today, 7 signs of an immature man. Number 1, low self-esteem. An insecure man has low self-esteem. He lacks confidence in his own abilities. He is constantly embroiled in self-doubt. He has anxiety in social settings. You go in a social setting with other people, there's anxiety. He's not comfortable. Yeah, he's always shy. Sometimes, he isolates himself from where people gather. He can find nice excuses for why he doesn't want to go to the party, why he doesn't want to go to church, why he doesn't. It's low self-esteem. He's not confident about himself. He's not confident about his ability. He's not confident about, his capacity to earn. So these things make him shy away from where other men are. Other men who are achieving, other men who are accomplishing, because he doesn't have anything to show, so he runs away from those things. This is a telltale sign. So when you see these kind of signs, let your antenna, stand. When you see these signs, when a guy is always self-depreciating, I always say the wrong things, I never say the right things, I never do things right. You hear him embroiled in negative self-talk. They're always putting themselves down. No one cares about me. Everybody dislikes me. All those kind of things. Those are signs of low self-esteem. They can even say something to you, like they compare themselves to your ex, if you had an ex, and say, no, your ex was so good looking. I'm not as good looking as him. I don't even know what you saw in me. When you hear those kind of self-depreciating talk and they express it, that's a danger sign. It's a danger sign. Number 2, sign of an insecure man, clinginess, over possessiveness. They are so clingy. They want to follow you everywhere you go. I remember when we were in university, there was that brother. He followed this girl everywhere. He followed her to the salon. He followed her to the gym. He followed her everywhere. My goodness. He followed her everywhere. Well, now I know. Then we didn't understand. We thought it was love. It's not love. It's insecurity. He's so insecure that the only way he feels safe is to be with her. In fact, he can't even stand her going out to enjoy herself. If he leaves her and goes to enjoy herself, he becomes afraid. Maybe a better looking man, a better earning man, a better performing man will find her and he will take her. So he's always so afraid. He's always so insecure, always so vulnerable that the only way is to cling, hold on to her. He feels threatened if she is out there hanging out with other men or classmates or colleagues. He feels insecure. He wants to, stop her. You can't go there. All those things is signs of insecurity. Number three, I'm rushing because my time is flying. He constantly needs reassurance. He needs to be, his ego needs to be massaged. He needs to be constantly praised. He needs to be constantly reassured. He wants you to swear by heaven and earth that you will never leave him nor forsake him. He is so needing assurance. His ego needs to be to be stroked. His ego needs to be, massaged all the time. He wants you to compliment his looks, compliment his abilities, reassure him that. And if you are stupid enough to be sleeping with him, he wants you to reassure his sexual performance. I'm talking about if you're not married. So he throws a tantrum if you're not, paying attention to him. If you ever comment or compliment another man who is successful, he feels so threatened. If you comment or, admire symbols of success that you see in other men, he feels so threatened. And then he begins to, malfunction. He begins to behave irrationally and say things and do things that are irrational. Number four, I'm rushing. Number 4, he struggles to express his needs. He struggles to express his needs. And then he expects you to know them. He expects you to read his mind. He expects you to understand where he is coming from. But he can't talk. So he wants you to figure out things, like as if you're a psychic. It doesn't work. And then when you don't get it, he becomes angry. He gives you the silent treatment. He stonewalls you because of his own insecurity. He doesn't know who he is. So this is the way that he engages with it and manages it, because he doesn't even probably know his needs. He can't define it, because it takes you to know you to be able to know your needs. So he doesn't know himself. So he doesn't even know what he needs. He can't quite articulate it. He can't say it. In fact, sometimes he's afraid to say it. He's afraid that if he says it, he will be seen as small. If he says it, he'll be seen as needy. But he's already needy. So you can see it's like a vicious cycle that does not end. And when in that state, there's passive-aggressive behavior. Very passive-aggressive behavior. These are just telltale signs of an insecure man. Let me give you the last 3 as I round up. Defensiveness, over-defensiveness. Over-defensiveness. Remember, an insecure man has a fragile ego. So because his ego is so fragile, it's so easy to hurt him. And because it's so easy to hurt him, he is so defensive, very apprehensive of feedback, very apprehensive of criticism. Whether it's negative criticism or positive criticism, he can't take it. He is so defensive. He doesn't like to feel exposed. He doesn't like to feel, so he's overtly defensive. He just, gets defensive, and he can get defensive and become loud and shout and scream and, do all kinds of things just to protect himself. Number six, he's easily influenced by others. Others' opinion, influences him a lot. So you might find yourself in a relationship where there are third parties involved, and you can't understand why does he need somebody to affirm, somebody to tell him things, and things between the two of you. There's a third party, maybe his mother, maybe a friend somewhere, maybe another girl somewhere, maybe his ex, because he's unsure of himself. So other people's opinion become very weighty. Other people's mind becomes, he can't make a decision. He doesn't know how to make a decision, stick with it, because, he is not sure of himself. So he keeps taking from other people. So you might find yourself in a relationship that has other parties involved in your relationship. And you wonder why are so many people involved in our business? Because it's insecure. So that's the 6th sign. The 7th sign, the last one I'm going to give you today, he lacks trust. He lacks trust. Remember this, that relationship insecurity and lack of trust, they go together. So he will constantly accuse you of cheating, constantly accuse you of infidelity. And you wonder why. Why? He's always looking over his shoulder, always thinking that, saying things that suggest that you are doing things behind his back. Yeah, he suspects you're about to leave him. He even threatens, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. And so much, so many accusations of infidelity. He wants to die if you go. Those are signs of insecurity. You need to when you see them, take evasive action according to the book of Proverbs chapter 27 verse 12. Take evasive shot. My time is up. My time is up. I hope you learned something. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share this video with your friends. I'm going to come next week for part 2. Part 2, Signs of an Insecure Man, part 2. Don't miss it. Invite everybody in your circle. Let them log in. I'll see you next week. God bless you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Why are you still single? Do you feel you're not ready yet? Do you say it's not my time yet? Have you made mistakes in the past and now you're stuck in a complicated situation? Or perhaps you've given up totally on the idea of marriage? Why not join Pastor Chukso Goye, author of the Amazing Power of Woman book, and his wife, Pastor Toyin, the founders of the Power of Woman Academy, at the next Single Ladies Bootcamp to explore and answer your questions. A big miracle could be waiting for you. For more information, visit www.stlbc.co.za or